Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. Was outside splitting some wood to fill up my cooking wood box, but the wind and the rain drove me in here. So was thinking about something, so I thought I'd do a quick video on it, explaining some of these things, kind of some tips and tricks when it comes to lighters and hand warmers, and a couple things that I've never heard anybody else mention. So I want to talk to you guys about it. Most people kind of in the prepping community carry some type of lighter around with them most of the time, and it's usually a Bic of some variety like this right here. And a lot of people do modifications to Bics. There's actually sleeves that go over Bics and those kind of things. I don't have anything like that. I just kind of modify the existing Bic lighters. And a lot of other channels have talked about, a lot of bigger channels have talked about that. You know, stuff like putting duct tape or Gorilla Tape on your lighters. So you got a little bit of fire starting capability on top of just the lighter. I mean, because the lighter just by itself sometimes doesn't start a fire as good as you would think. Couple things here that I've been kind of messing around with here the last year or so are a couple different style lighters, and this one right here I've really kind of enjoyed using. Now all the different lighters have different I guess pros and cons to them, and this guy right here with this little tail on it, this lighter is particularly well suited for lighting like camp stoves, backpacking stoves, heaters, this kind of thing. This has really been kind of nice to carry. I kind of modded this the same way that a lot of other Bic lighters are modded. I got a little duct tape on here. I made a little loop if I wanted to hang it on something, and lights really, really well. And this has an electric sparker in it, so it's not as water, I guess, resistant as some of the other lighters are. Like a regular Bic lighter, you can dry these out fairly easily if these get regular fresh water in them. But this guy here with the electric takes a little bit more. Now this still worked. I actually took this and I threw it in the wash machine to see if it would, it would, if I could be dry it out and use it with this electrical sparker in here, and it actually did dry out. It just took a little bit longer than a regular Bic lighter did. So yeah, these Bics here with the tail on them, if you're just camping or backpacking or car camping, or you got a little heater in the house or something like that, this guy right here is really nice to have. Um, Zippo lighters. Zippo lighters are not really. A lot of people don't like them to carry. I've actually carried Zippo lighters before, and they're kind of, there's pros and cons to them, just like the other lighters. This is probably your basic all-around one. The one that I showed you here, this is kind of nice for lighting stoves, heaters, that kind of stuff around camp. And the thing that a Bic lighter is nice about is a Bic lighter can just stand on its own. You can light this and set it on something if you want to, catch something on fire or heat something up. That's where these kind of are nice to have. Now, this one here is orange, so you can see it if you drop it. Got a little tape on it. I've been carrying this guy for a couple of weeks just to see how long the lighter fluid lasts in this, because the lighter fluid is what always gets you in these guys here. It leaks out, it evaporates, but I put a piece of Ranger band on them, and I got a couple different Bic lighters, and this one right here also has a little bit bigger piece of Ranger band on it, but I trimmed this one back, and I've been kind of sliding this back and forth on both the lid and the body. And I filled this lighter 2 weeks ago, and I'm still running on the fluid that's in here. I have been lighting this Zippo once a day just to see if I can make it run out of fluid, or how long it's going to take, and I'm still going on 14 days. So that's kind of the skinny on Zippo lighters. Fire starting stuff, the kind of the gold standard that everybody talks about is the Vaseline soaked cotton balls, and there's different kinds of commercially available fire starting tinder out there, but I'm here to tell you, this right here is one of the best things to carry to start a fire. I'm just surprised that I never hear anybody talk about this. I carried a can of Zippo lighter fluid for years in my packs, and it's great. It starts fires. It can be used in hand warmers. I had people say, well, why do you want to carry that? It's going to leak. I have never had a can of this leak in any of my packs ever. So I don't know why. This seems like a simple thing to carry. Is a little bit of lighter fluid. Put a little of that on your tinder and light it. If you're not a big-time bushcrafter that you use all the traditional skills, something like this can be a lifesaver. And that goes into my next thing here, and that's these refillable hand warmers. They used to be called Johnny warmers, and this is actually a Johnny warmer. I've had Johnny warmers for years, and this is, set that up there, this is the modern version of the Johnny warmer. It's made by Zippo. It's a hand warmer, and these get really hot. That's why they're always packed in these little cloth bags. But the original Johnny warmer here works basically the same way as the Zippo. You have a little element on the top here that burns without a flame, and you cover that up with this, and you put it in your little bag, and you put it in your pocket or whatever. And you actually fill this with a Zippo lighter fluid, and you pop the top off here, and you fill that up, and shake it out to make sure you don't have any excess fluid in there. You put this on, you light the element right here, burns for hours. A lot longer than the disposable ones. The disposable ones is kind of what everybody goes to now, but these will last you much longer, and even longer still if you carry a can of this with you. So it's kind of a dual thing. You got a hand warmer, and you got a fire starting item that you can keep with you. And like I said, the Johnny warmers aren't made anymore, but these Zippos are, so you can find these pretty easily. They're not that expensive, especially because you can reuse them over and over again. And that gets to another thing. Sometimes hand warmers get too hot, so you can't really just keep them in your hand or up against your body. You'll burn yourself. And that's why a schmog is nice to have, because you can take those hand warmers, like a Johnny warmer, and you can fold them up inside a schmog and make yourself a heat pad. And the last thing here I want to tell you is these guys right here. These are MRE heaters. If you go hunting or backpacking or hiking or anything, you take an MRE with you. Most MREs have a MRE heater in them. And these can be used to heat your food. They're not too good at it. They kind of work. But there is one thing that these work really, really well for, and that's a hand or body warmer. But again, they get too hot. You just can't take this and put it up against your skin. You're going to burn yourself. But when you're done heating your food or whatever that you're warming up with the hand warmer, you make sure that the excess water is dumped out of this. But then when you're using this, you'll put just a little bit of water in. You don't put very much in, just a little bit down here. And you'll take this and you'll fold it over with the food in it, and it'll heat it. But when you're done, dump out the excess water, and so it's still going to work, because these will burn or heat for quite some time. And what you do is you take this and you put it inside your schmog, and you wrap it up just like that, and now you got yourself a little heat pad that you can use, and you're going to use the rest of the heat that's in this, because once you start the chemical reaction in these MRE heaters, they're going to go until they're done. And that way you can carry get a little bit extra out of that MRE heater that you wouldn't normally just discard, especially in cold weather climates. It'll help. So an MRE can be a source of nutrition, plus it can be a hand warmer after the fact. So anyway, I just wanted to touch base on those few things with you guys here, talking about the the lighter fluid and the Zippo lighters, and kind of how to modify different lighters and stuff, and the refillable hand warmers. Just some information here. If you guys have never had to use any of this stuff out in the field in cold weather, just now you know. So anyway, it's Modern Refugee. Appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys get a little information, a little entertainment out of this video here. Just a few different tools for the toolbox. You guys take care.